is the little pilot of the S&M show.
Starting it up.
Starting it up, yeah. My name is Sarab. I'm with my boy Mazen here.
That's right.
We've been childhood friends, I think, since grade 6.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, a long time. It's rare, to have a friendship that lasts so long. Over time, we've overcome a lot of things, and at this point in life, we feel like we have something to offer the world. Like helping men improve masculinity. We see a lot of wrong in the world, a lot of misinformation, and a lot of people are following the wrong things. So we're just here to speak on that, yeah.
100%. Speak on that. Just help you guys. I feel like a lot of you men, whether boys, teenagers, grown men, need help. Like, we're basically 30 years old this year. Today is like April 2nd.
Yeah.
And we want to just help you guys understand like where to take your life, whether you're young, whether you're old, how to still make a change if you need to, in order to just feel better every day, get better women, get respect from women, get respect in your career or in your business, overall everything.
Yeah.
I feel like me and Sarab have come a long way from even helping our friends understand simple things like this, and we want to offer it to you guys, right? At the same time, we want to have some fun. We want to talk about some stuff that maybe not hear about too much, or maybe is getting censored for whatever reason. Maybe it's the truth, maybe it's false, but we want to give you our opinion so you guys can widen your horizon, widen your opinions on and widen your knowledge. That's what it's all about, right?
Exactly. Just see a different perspective out there from what's not according to mainstream media. Looking at things like critical thinking, really understanding things, and we just want to help you guys out. So honestly, just a little introductory about myself. Like I said, my name is Sarab. Live in Mississauga, Ontario. Pretty much grown here up like my whole life. And basically, I went to school, undergrad, tried to do business. Things just didn't work out. And, started working in accounting. Cannabis became legal. And I realized I just want to go into where my passion is. So I started off with cannabis. Took a little bit of a pay cut, just starting at like a retail associate. And I found lots of opportunities in the industry, and I was able to like rise up to becoming a store manager. So now I'm like a leader of a store, and we're just focused on growing sales. Still a lot more work to do, but I feel like I've come a long way. And that's just a little bit about me right now.
That's right.
Yeah.
And me, it's about, like similar story with the college and all that. Tried to go to it. Well, I did go a few years, got in debt, didn't finish it off, because at one point I realized it's just not the path I want to take. I started realizing, like, if I get into the job field of, I was doing architecture, if I get into it, I wouldn't like it. I wouldn't want to do it for many years. So I stopped it right there before I put myself in any more debt and started working in a place where I didn't really want to. And from there, I did all types of jobs, from like fast food to driving jobs. This one I had for a while, and then some stuff happened, which I'll leave for later on, but I was no longer able to drive. And then I got into sales. Car sales, for many years. And then while I was doing that, I opened a dog training business. And after years of grinding, after years of like working in sales and then doing dog training after my job on the weekends, it was a lot of work. But now I'm at a point where I only run my business. And me and Sarab was trying to start this to help you guys out and put some time towards this as well. I'm in a point in my life like I can see where I'm headed, and I just gotta grind every day. Life's a grind. You gotta enjoy the grind, but in order for that, you gotta get your mind right. It's the only way you'll be able to grind and not feel sorry for yourself in the position you are and all this negativity, right? Yeah. So I see the path now, and I know Sarab sees his path, and we want to get you guys on the right path.
Yeah, 100%, man. Mazen said it best. Kind of like, finding a path for yourself, and in order to find a path for yourself, you got to get your mind right. And only once you get your mind right, then you can have the vision of what you really want to achieve. Once you have the vision, then it starts with like applying the knowledge, like applying the day-to-day, bettering yourself. So I think, we can just dive into it. Like, first thing you want to do to better yourself is, have a really good morning and nighttime routine. For me, like, years and years, and I'm pretty sure you had this problem too, years and years, especially when you worked your jobs, is like waking up in the morning is like one of the toughest things, especially like waking up early to go to a job that you might not even like. But there are certain things you can do to, like, help yourself and get in the mode where you're not like just going through the motions. So for me, like, it starts off with a nighttime routine, right? As of late, like, one thing we all have problems is phone addiction. Constantly just brain rot before we go to sleep, and eventually
in the morning too.
In the morning too.
First thing in the morning, brain rotting.
Exactly, and it's like you're not really helping your mind, helping your brain shut off and get like a proper night's sleep. So something I've tried doing myself is literally 30 minutes before bed, just put my phone aside, and whether it's like sitting in my bed, creating a vision for myself how I want tomorrow to play out, or reading a book. I find these ways are way more effective than just being on your phone and scrolling till you pass out,
100%.
Exactly, right? And so yeah, a little bit on me. Before I go to bed, I'm just making sure I put my phone away, either meditating or reading a book, or sometimes, once in a while, something I want to get into is like writing affirmations.
What's affirmations?
So affirmations is like you're kind of, it can be anything. It's like, I am strong. I am powerful.
Okay.
So you kind of tell yourself these things, and when you tell yourself these things, you're like, it's like all your cells feel it, and you can actually like act be that person. So yeah, having a strong nighttime routine, getting a good night's sleep, and then in the morning, right? First thing you don't want to do is just go on your phone and scroll. I think the studies show like that's not an effective way to start your day, and just ruins your mind's ability to like be motivated and take action right away. So,
and I think that's because like people are looking at other people's lives first thing in the morning and seeing other people's highlights.
Yeah.
Of whatever it is, driving a supercar, living rich.
Yeah.
All this stuff, and it just makes yourself just feel less than low, where you don't even want to do the things that you need to do.
Yeah.
Because you're not in their position.
You're comparing yourself to somebody who's showing the highlight of their life. You don't know what goes on in the day-to-day like life and what struggles they have. So yeah, that's the thing. Like, social media can be quite toxic that way. So really got to manage your screen time. That's a big thing for me in having that morning and nighttime routine.
Yeah, and you're really good at that. You're not much on your phone. You put your phone away a lot.
Yeah.
And the workforce you're in, you can do that more, and some people can't, but they still gotta like learn how to give themselves some time, especially before the morning and night.
Yeah.
Like, even at night, scrolling till you pass out, like,
yeah.
If you really think about it, it makes no sense to fill your mind with so much stimulation while you're actually trying to relax and go to bed and get a good night's sleep. Totally. Right? You could be seeing just nonsense that, like, even after you sleep, your brain is just thinking about that.
Yeah.
Because that's the last thing you're looking at.
Yeah. Like,
right?
In a way, that's like you're putting subliminal thoughts in your brain. Like, your subconscious is kind of like rotting. And like, so that it's really important to like, not kind of like waste your subconscious and fill it with like really just brain rot and all that nonsense. So yeah, man, it's a big thing for me. And then, I think once you get up and you master a morning routine where you can actually like, wake up and you have a good routine, like, you're not looking at your phone first thing in the morning. Like, you actually get up, get some fresh air. That's like the most important thing. You've been inside for like 8 hours sleeping, go outside, get some air. If it's a nice day, I don't know if many of you guys know about the benefits of grounding.
I was gonna say that.
Yeah.
Ground yourself too.
Yeah, ground myself too, especially like when it's a nice sunny day. Literally just go in bare feet and walk on the earth. Apparently, like, the science shows like I don't know the exact science, but from what I've seen, it's like the earth has like positive electrons. It charges your body. I saw like an experiment they did. They took like a group of people, just regular wake up in the morning, and they walk on like shoes.
Mm-hmm.
And then they showed their like red blood cells. They're all like stagnant and stuck together.
Mm.
Then they did an experiment. A group of people walked in barefoot on the grass, and like their blood cells were like moving. So it's like you got oxygen in your body, you're moving, your blood cells are moving, you're flowing.
Yeah.
So yeah, man, if you guys can get to a point where you're able to ground yourselves, I think it's very beneficial. I've seen the benefits myself. And I think there are like more and more studies coming out on it.
Yeah, it's not just hippie nonsense.
It's not just hippie nonsense, because that's a lot of, that's what a lot of people believe. Like many times I'll literally talk to people about grounding, and then they'll give me the look. It's called the fluoride stare. Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, they just look at you like, what the hell are you talking about? I didn't learn this in school. I don't see this on the news. So therefore, you're a hippie.
Yeah,
you're a conspiracy hippie.
Yeah, you're just making up your own stuff.
Yeah, man.
Even though there's research behind it, you guys just gotta look for it.
Exactly.
Because again, there's so much information online. You'll always be like, if you don't look for the right ones, you're looking at whatever they want to show you.
Exactly.
Whatever they want to show you is because they want to make you. They want to keep you as a consumer.
Keep you as a consumer.
Consumer of like their products and their programs, but not the right knowledge that will make you better. That'll make you stronger.
Yeah.
Will actually help you all throughout life, even raising good kids and all of that.
And it's funny because like grounding is like a thing that like ancient civilizations have been doing like thousands of years, and then all of a sudden like mainstream scientists want to like discredit it.
Yeah, they want to bury it too.
They want to bury it. Yeah, exactly. Like, it makes no sense to me. Like, basically, you find like once you do your research, stuff that's good for you that's been done for like thousands and thousands of years, all of a sudden in modern science is considered like not good for you or whatever. So yeah.
And that modern science is pushed, so
modern science,
it comes back around too.
Paid by billionaires.
Yep. What is I guess that's your morning routine. Get up, you ground.
Yeah, get up, ground, get some fresh air.
That's right.
I like to wait at least like 45 minutes to an hour before I start going on my phone.
That's good.
Yeah, because then you check your emails, text messages, whatever is going on. Work stuff. Yeah, but at least give yourself the time to like take an hour, even half an hour to yourself.
Yeah, something. Yeah, 100%. Because I've learned that from Sarab, and I've like started with simple things like keeping my phone away from me to a point where like I'm not that tempted to look at it first thing in the morning. Yeah. Especially when you're running a business, there's always things happening where you gotta like check up on it. But again, you can always delay that. There's no excuse. Like, you wake up early enough, you can spend some time to yourself before the world is waking up and all the stuff is starting, like all the work stuff and all the drama and whatever, like all whether it's business, chaos, literally, right? And it doesn't matter whether you work for somebody else or you got a business, you can make it happen and you should, and it will help you feel a lot better. I like to start my morning routine by simply first making the bed, again away from my phone 100%, making the bed. I like to pray every morning, but I'm not always successful at it,
Nice.
Right? But like, the thing is, I have it in my mind and I push for it, and just got to get better at controlling our mind.
That's actually really good that you said like making your bed. That's actually like a really important thing. Like, I think in psychology they show like if you make your bed first thing in the morning, it kind of starts your day off on a right note. Like you're organizing yourself right away.
Yeah.
And that too, when you I find when the days you make your bed, when you try to go to sleep at night, it's like you feel like welcomed into your bed. Like, oh shit, the bed's made for me. It's nice.
100%. Even if you had a tough day, at least you're going back to a made bed.
Exactly. Like,
right?
So just little things like that go a long way.
Very long way.
100%. Like,
I agree.
It's that right there just shows like the difference if you're able to just make small changes. Small changes as just not looking at your phone, making your bed, maybe doing a prayer, getting some fresh air. Like right away, you've already started yourself off on a way better foot than most people start the days off.
Yeah.
And I think like at this point we found like doing these things consistently work. Now don't get me wrong, like once here and there sometimes I wake up on a Saturday, I might have slept in a bit, and then first thing I'm looking at my phone. But right there I noticed the difference between how I was the days I wasn't doing that and then the days I was. And then I'm like asking myself, why the fuck am I doing this? Yeah, it's like, but you learn from experience. Sometimes experience is the best teacher. So yeah, man.
That's very true. You don't notice how much it affects until you actually like try to work against it, and you're able to do it for a while.
Yeah.
And then one day you're like, okay, I'll check my phone in the morning, and all of a sudden you feel your brain rotting, especially if you go to social media the first thing.
Oh man, yeah.
If you're just like replying to like a person or two, whatever, it doesn't feel that rotting.
Yeah.
Once you go on social media, and if you go to the homepage of Instagram, and you just look at how much stuff is just there before even clicking a video, you just look at it, and I feel my brain already getting like
too much.
clouded.
Yeah,
There was so much taken over. It's like so much information. It's like, yo, just woke up.
Overstimulated.
Overstimulated already. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. So those two things are very important in having like a successful day.
Yep.
And I feel like a lot of things like in life comes down to you just working towards like making yourself a better person every day.
Yeah.
Right, and that way happiness comes and fulfillment comes. Right.
Yeah.
A lot of people are just waking up and the first thing they're thinking is, how do I feel? But before they even think that, sometimes they grab on their phone, then they don't feel that good, and they're like, okay, I don't feel good, I don't feel happy, so I might just go back to sleep.
Yeah.
You know, I have work at 1 p.m. today, I'll wake up at like 12.
Yeah.
Right? And
yeah, kind of just like, just doing things last minute and then
Yeah.
just making it on time. So you're just like doing the bare minimum.
Yep.
And sometimes like you're able to get by long enough doing that you end up building such bad habits.
Yeah.
Until one day it doesn't work for you anymore. And then you realize like, oh shit, there's certain things I have to change. And it kind of starts with all these things like we're talking about, right? Just taking control. It's just about taking control of how you want your day to go. Yeah, it's a big thing. Like right now, I feel like like a lot of people, you know, like you're saying, like they wake up, they're just looking on Instagram and then they're comparing their lives to other people. They're getting overstimulated. You know, like you're going on social media first thing in the morning, you're kind of like already firing up your dopamine, serotonin, which are kind of like your reward centers in your brain. So it's like now that you've already achieved this, it's like, okay, why am I gonna go out and work hard? Like it's not intrinsically in you anymore, right?
Agree.
Yeah.
Most people don't realize that. They have
Yeah.
no idea what's happening. They have no idea why they feel the way they feel.
Exactly. Like
You
they
know?
feel shitty and they just think it's like normal.
Yeah,
And
it's
they're
like,
not
oh,
really.
today I just feel shitty.
Today I just feel shitty.
What can you do? Nothing. Just it's just one of those days I feel shitty. And I see posts like this, like where people, you know, those posts on social media where people are just like, oh, today I was feeling shitty. Or the next day I felt good, and it's just be like that sometimes. No, it doesn't.
It's like it doesn't have to be if you really want to take control
Yeah.
of your life, control of your day. You can dictate like how things go. And like I've always heard the saying like happiness is a choice, but I don't even think it's necessarily like just telling yourself, oh, I'm going to be happy. I think it's like you have to take the action where the chemicals in your body are actually matching up to like what you want to feel, right? Because it's like it's one thing to just mind over matter and tell yourself, yeah, I'm happy, everything's good, but like things might not be good. You know, you might have not had a good morning that day, and you're just trying to like kind of cope and say, oh, I'm happy, but internally you're not really happy. So I feel like you have to like really do the work to make that choice to be happy.
Yeah.
And then
It's easier choice.
It's either choice,
Easier
exactly.
choice, yeah.
And then another thing I even wanted to say is like, even for me, I used to like I've been in this mindset, and I know Andrew Tate, super controversial.
Mm-hmm.
I think he has a lot of good things to offer. Like sure you don't have to agree with everything he says, but like he's just a man with an opinion, and he has a lot of good things to say. I find in society a lot of people, like you bring up the name Andrew Tate, they automatically start putting you in a different category. And it's funny how a lot of people like believed all his child trafficking stuff. I meet people in real life and I'll say Andrew Tate and they're like, oh, you mean the child trafficker, the human trafficker? And I'm just like, man, like, so that's something we'll address too, about how you shouldn't just fall for mainstream narratives.
Of course not, yeah.
But the main thing I want to talk about Andrew Tate is like on happiness. Like this is something I've told you before, right? Like one big takeaway I found from Tate is that like when you're trying to build yourself to this and get to your goals, you're not always going to be happy. There are going to be times where like you're in your situation and life is tough. You know, things are not going your way. Your goals might be taking longer to achieve. But one thing Andrew Tate says is like, especially as a man, is like your happiness kind of just doesn't matter. Like you have to get to a point where you're telling yourself happiness, it doesn't matter because I have duties and responsibilities. I got people depending on me. I have people looking up to me. I know like you got siblings.
Mm-hmm.
You're running a business. You got clients. You got a team you're working with. You can't just be like one day, oh, I'm not happy, so I'm not gonna respond to my phone.
Yeah.
Like you can't. Like, you gotta do like whether you're happy, whether you're sad, you got shit to do. And that's the main takeaway I found from him. Because like sometimes, you know, despite me trying to better my life, I wake up and I'm not feeling good. I'm like, fuck, man, I just don't feel good today. But it's like, okay, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
And once I tell myself it doesn't matter, it's like, okay, let's focus on what I have to do now.
Now, how do you feel after you do it then?
And then exactly, and then once I push myself and I actually accomplish something, you end up feeling better.
Yep.
And that right there is like half the answer to your problems, right?
Just do what you don't feel like doing. Just do it. Just do it, and you feel so much better after it.
Yeah. You know, and I just feel like the way we're programmed as kids, the way we grow up in school, like in my childhood, it was like, oh, you get to watch cartoons, you know, you're just chilling. So like, and even Tate talks about this. He's like, as a kid, you're happy. That's the time you're happy.
Yep.
He's like, one day you become a man. It's like you put those things to the side, and you handle the man shit.
Yeah. You know.
And I find like I feel like a lot of people in society, even some of the people I work with. I'm not gonna mention the company I work for, obviously, but like, just I find they're so focused on how if they're feeling happy or not, and that's gonna dictate how their day goes, if they accomplish things or not. And I just think like that's a very like elementary way of living, because like adult life is hard, and you got to do shit whether you want to do it or not. And that doing the shit you don't want to do is the only thing that's gonna get you to the top.
That's right.
Like exactly like you said. So
yeah,
man, like I think that's a big thing, and I really wish like more people. I wish more people like didn't have such a bad opinion on Tate, because I feel like he can empower so many people. But unfortunately, the Matrix or whatever.
Yeah, the media
whatever
doesn't want you guys to listen to him. Or,
yeah, man.
They want you to think that he's just a bad person who got all his money through like illegal ways, right? And if you never look at any of his full interviews, that's the only opinion you have of him. And your opinion is of somebody. Your opinion of this person is what was filled in your head by someone else. So it's not really even your opinion. Right? So, and you guys should always do your research, look at videos, form your own opinions, rather than just following what you're seeing, because little things like that will start applying in other aspects of life where you don't even know what's best for you or what you'd prefer. You just kind of follow other people's opinion and think this is the way to live life. Right? Like a lot of people get forced into going to school, even though they don't think it's for them, but they're like, oh, this is what I gotta do. This is what's expected of me. And they end up doing a job for the rest of their life that they never really liked or enjoyed or even like felt fulfilled doing it.
100%. Like, and even with that, like, people end up going to school, taking on a lot of debt. Sometimes they don't even get a job in the field that they studied in.
Yeah, a lot of people don't.
A lot of people don't. Like most of the time, and there are also a bunch of pointless degrees. Like anything that has to do with like social studies and all that. Like, what job are you gonna do when you graduate? Right?
Just doing it.
Just doing it. Yeah, just doing it to
getting a paper.
Exactly, getting a paper, and it's like. It's just crazy how people are programmed to think that's just normal. That's how things should be. And then with that, like you said, you get a job. You don't even work that. You don't even like that job, but you have to do that job now to pay off your student debt. Then what happens is you end up thinking, oh, I got to make my parents happy now. I've graduated. I have a job. I now have to get married. Right? And then you end up like not really exploring yourself in the dating market. You kind of just get the first girl that like shows you any sign of attention or love, or as if we're brown people, so a lot of people we know get arranged marriages, and they're getting married at like ages of like 25, 26, 27, 28. And
without any experience.
Without any experience. Like I get it. If you want to do that throughout and like you figure things out and that's what you want to do, go ahead and do it. But are you really going to be like happy in your 40s and 50s knowing that, wow, like I pretty much just settled with one person. I never really got to explore what I like. I never really got to understand what I want from another person.
Yep. And there's a high chance you're not even a good husband.
Yeah.
Right? Because you never really felt the trauma of like being with a woman, getting your heart broken, and then like actually understanding how to be a better man overall, like how to be a man that women respect where they don't leave you.
Yeah.
Right? A lot of you guys don't have it. A lot of you guys are just like ready to do everything for the girl, but like she has no respect for you.
Yeah.
So you gotta like figure yourself out to be a man of like who has respect, and respect will make you feel fulfilled. It will give you happiness, because that's what, like internally, that's what men look for: respect, right? Mm-hmm. Like
that's like one of the most things we want in life, like respect from our peers, friends, and then your wife.
Yeah, that's right.
Your significant other. Yeah,
that's why people get like very nice cars and like they want to get all this stuff to show off because it comes from respect,
Yeah.
right? Or you get respect from it. Like, oh, this guy's driving a very nice car. Oh, wow. Like, you know, like people look at you different, but that also makes you feel good about it.
Yeah.
Right. But right back to like the arranged marriage topic, like that way you're not really building yourself. You're just like settling for whatever your parents find for you.
Yeah.
And it may work out for some people, but I just think like you gotta go through the experience, and you're not getting any experience just getting married to the first person and never spending any time with women.
Yeah.
Most people aren't even self-aware when they get arranged marriage.
Yeah.
Because you get self-aware by going through experiences of trauma. Trauma actually builds men.
Yeah.
I think that like trauma maybe makes women cold, but
to an extent,
the nicest guy, the most humble person has been through a lot of trauma, and I'm talking about men here.
Yeah, 100%. Like I think there's always like that. Like people say like those tough guys in the gym who are like super like D's with tats. They end up being like the nicest people. If you actually just go up to them and try talking to them.
Yeah.
Most of the time they're like willing to give you like good advice. They're willing to just be friendly. They're just chill. Yeah, like you said, man.
Yeah, willing to help you out, and some people wouldn't.
Exactly. So
you know,
like,
whether it's at the gym or life in general.
Yeah, yeah. You have to like go through struggles, or I guess, or trauma, or like tough times as a guy, and that's what like really builds you. If life is always good, you know, not only like if life is always good, you're not gonna like appreciate it to the fullest extent. And also, you know, when you don't struggle as a man, like you don't build character.
No,
you just don't. Like I found like, yeah, all the like hard times I've overcome. Even just days, right? I don't feel like going to work. I'm just low energy, but I push myself and I grind through it. And then by the end of the day, like you feel like you accomplished something. And when you do that over and over and over and over again, like you're just gonna build up this strong character who like no one can fuck with. But that comes from pushing yourself through things you don't want to do.
Yeah.
Overcoming tough situations. Like as a man, like you have no choice. You literally have no choice. Like, and I think nowadays the times we're actually in, is like being an average man like sucks. I feel like times have changed so much. Like back in the 90s, 2000s, you could be an average man and you could just work every day and you'd be able to like buy a house and afford it. Girls would actually like still be with an average man and respect you. But like times have changed, man. Like
so much.
You know what I mean? Like the average girl wants a guy who's already established. Obviously not every girl's like that. Like, you know,
majority of them.
But majority are like that. That's what it's become nowadays. It's you have to come pre-assembled with a whole package. And in order, like, so, you know, that's kind of like ties into what we're here to help you.
Yeah, literally.
On our journey to becoming this person, we're trying to help you become this person too.
Exactly.
Yeah, man, because you got to have that to command respect from a woman these days, man.
Yeah.
The dating game has changed.
It's changed because like women are looking for like the top 5% people, like the high income, and they think it's like, they think it's not the top 5%.
Yeah, they think it's like the average man because. Like what happens is like dating apps.
Yeah.
It's kind of, and social media is what ruins everything.
Yeah.
All right, like, you know, you can go Google it, right? The stats are like men are swiping 90% of the time, women are swiping 5% of the time, right? So women like don't find a majority of men attractive on dating apps, right? So what happens is like, and I've seen this, like an average girl will end up getting like, let's just, she's on an app like Tinder. Within a period of a week, an average girl, like let's just say we're ranking her on a scale of 1 to 10. She's like a 5 or 6 average, right? She's getting 1,000 matches and hundreds of messages. Whereas like the average guy is literally getting like maybe 1 or 2 matches for every 50 swipes. And what ends up happening is like these average girls are swiping with guys who are like top men. So then they think, damn, okay, this is the kind of guy that we're meant for. Like we get the guys who are 8s to 10s.
Yeah.
Even though we're 5s because we've matched with them. And then they're talking to me and showing me some attention.
And they feel.
Yeah, and then they feel it. 10. Exactly. And you might even, and these average girls, I'm sure they get taken on dates by these top guys. And what can happen is, you know, guys are guys. So guys will still smash anything most of the time, right?
Yep.
So a top guy, you know, he has his life going for him, everything. He has the looks, he has the money, attraction. He's just going to smash this average girl. But now she thinks this is the caliber of guy I'm entitled to.
Yep.
And it ends up sticking with her, and it can end up breaking them because, like, they're with this guy and they keep thinking the grass is greener. Every guy they meet is like, nah, he doesn't compare to that guy.
That's right.
The grass is greener. The grass is greener. The grass is greener, and it comes to a point where you're 35 and single.
Yep. Got a bunch of cats.
You got a bunch of cats, and now you have to settle with a very below average guy.
Yep.
Who's just happy to have you on his team, or whatever.
Yeah, and they will like bend down for you, and just like the woman is still gonna like rule the whole relationship.
Yeah, and so yeah, like this all stems from dating apps, social media, Instagram. Like I think Instagram is the biggest dating app.
Yeah.
In a way, right? Like anybody, if you have a girl who's on Instagram, like, and really showing herself out there, dude, like any guy can message your girl. Like, I feel like the average girl just has a bunch of DMs.
Yeah.
From a bunch of guys, you know?
100%. Especially if she's putting herself out like that.
Yeah.
110%. Like, and we've seen it. They just get a lot of DMs, and that fills their ego, makes them think like they're on top of the world. And they can feel all like that, but the reality is you're not. You know, you're an average girl. Yeah. And you should be cool with having an average guy, but that's not the case.
It's not the case, right? Like they're not willing to build with an average guy anymore.
Yep, exactly. And
also because like the economy doesn't help either, because you gotta basically have like a lot of money if you want to buy a house nowadays or do anything. Whereas before you could like have an average job and you're paying off a mortgage and you're able to build equity over time. Right?
Yep.
But you can't just do that anymore. So
people are living paycheck to paycheck.
People living paycheck to paycheck, right?
And expensive out here.
Bro. We're living in Canada, the Matrix.
Yeah.
Like, and then on that note, it's like we're talking about men's self-improvement, and this might be a controversial take, but you won't really find guys like us or other podcasts where they have women trying to teach other women how to self-improve.
Yeah.
Like that's not really a common thing, because what's happened is, because like I said, the average girl gets so much attention. They don't have the need to self-improve.
Yep.
Like, for example, for myself, when I broke up with my first girlfriend ever, and I tried going out in the dating market, I couldn't get a match on a dating app. I had no frame. I didn't know what the fuck I was doing, and I wasn't able to get a match. And then I realized, okay, I have to self-improve. I guess I have to get in the gym, start taking care of what I'm eating, take care of what I put on my body, the products I use on my body. Like, let me get some money and buy some, better, dress better. Yeah. Like all these things you really have to start doing as a man. And the thing is, girls don't do this because they don't have to self-improve. They're getting so much attention.
That's right.
And it just becomes a tough struggle where women aren't, that's why we're kind of in a time where there are a lot of gender wars going on right now. Women are not understanding men's struggle and they don't care to. And there are a lot of men who are frustrated, and basically the average man is almost like invisible to the average woman. So there's a lot of disparity going on right now, and
I'm gonna help you guys not be average.
Exactly. You know? On our journey to becoming extraordinary, we want to get you guys there too. So
exactly.
Yeah, man, because we're finding that's the only way to have a good life nowadays. You have to be like, get to the top, and only then it seems like only the top people are enjoying life.
Yeah,
to the fullest,
100%.
right?
Yeah, to the fullest.
Like to a point where you have your money, you have your business in place. You can kind of like get the freedom to do what you want, like travel, but still have money in the bank. So that's the point where we're trying to work towards that, right?
Yeah.
And we see the path for ourselves to get there, and so we just want to encourage you guys, find that path and vision for yourself. Just take ownership of your life, because life is only going to get tougher. Things are only going to get more expensive. We're only going to get older.
Yeah.
And
tough isn't bad.
And tough is exactly.
Yeah, tough is challenging. Challenging is good.
Yep.
Keeps you on your feet. Makes you like want to push through it. Like, I kind of find it fun. Like, what else is there to life if it's all just like sitting on a beach and drinking margaritas? I know some of you guys wish for that. I know. You're hearing us now, and you're like, what? No, I'd rather just sit on the beach and not have to work or struggle or have a tough life. But you'll get bored of it.
Yep.
Get bored of it pretty quick.
Yep.
Like, if not in a couple of weeks, maybe a month or 2 months, you will get bored and you will start to get into worse habits, like harder drugs and all of that.
Yeah, you can like actually regress.
Yeah.
Regress from all the hard work you've done. Because if you think like you just want to work and work and work and get to a place where you can just chill forever, I don't think that's the right mindset. Like I think you always should have the mindset that, like you want to work and better yourself.
Yeah.
I think we're men, so we're supposed to conquer.
Yeah, that's
So
right.
it's like if you conquer one thing, yeah, you can like have a vacation, enjoy yourself for like a month. Okay, you'd be like, all right, I gotta get back to find a new challenge.
Exactly.
Fine.
Think about anybody in history, like
Yeah.
like anybody important in history where their names are actually still remembered, like whatever, Genghis Khan conquered so much.
Yeah.
Why do you think, like, he just woke up one day and then decided to go in different directions with his army and just take what wasn't his? Yeah, just conquer, because what else is there to do if he sits around?
Yeah.
Okay, I have sex, I eat this food. Okay, whatever, I play the guitar. If there was guitar back in the day, like, then what? Like, it gets boring.
Yeah, it
it's
gets
like,
boring.
okay, now what? Okay, let's just go places, find stuff, conquer it, take what's not ours, like fight people, like
fight, get stronger.
and obviously now we're not doing that because like the world is kind of like it's set. Like you can see everything on the Google map and all this. You can take a flight here and there.
Yep.
But we are still conquering by working and making money and getting respect. All that is literally conquering yourself, making yourself better.
Yeah.
Again, fulfillment and happiness, they come together.
They come together, yeah. And even like an example of like somebody in like modern era who's a conqueror, like even the NBA player Kobe Bryant. Fucking rest in peace to him. But he basically dedicated his whole life to playing basketball, like from a kid to the NBA. He got into NBA at 18. He had a 20-year career, and I remember like all the interviewers used to ask Kobe like, "Damn, like you're retiring. Like what are you gonna do now?" And Kobe always used to say, he's like, "I'm just gonna find the next challenge. I've conquered basketball.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna find the next challenge." And that's literally what he did. He started his own media company and created like his own TV show.
Yeah.
And I think he won an Oscar or an Emmy.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, dude, this guy like went from dominating basketball and retiring, and all he knew his whole life was basketball, and like he still challenged himself to like start his own media company and win an Emmy or Oscar and start his own show. And, like,
Yeah, and bet it was easy. Not easy, but it was like the path was pretty laid out for him because he's always a hardworking man.
Exactly.
So when he's like time to conquer this challenge, he put 100%.
100% into it. Exactly.
Like, every day he did it. Maybe sometimes 90%, but he still did it, and that's why like he's able to conquer more stuff. And from there, like it's a snowball effect. He's just gonna keep conquering, and
like who knows what he would have been doing if he was still alive right now. Like
Yeah.
he would be like, you don't even know, man. So
that's right.
Yeah,
Kobe
yeah.
Bryant passed what? Like,
it's 2020 of January 26th.
that's right.
Yeah,
5 years.
Scripted. The real ones know.
Mm-hmm.
The real ones
That's
know.
right.
That shit.
Yeah.
Kobe's in like an underground bunker, chilling. No, but yeah. No, we won't go too crazy on the conspiracies on this.
Yeah, if
Yeah.
you have anything to talk about, we'll give you our opinion and we'll state some stuff that you could find on the internet as factual, right?
I'm sure even a bunch of stuff we just said in the last 20 minutes, I'm sure the average person would look at it as just being controversial.
Yeah. And you guys can. That's okay, but that's because you're kind of stuck in thinking how they want you to think rather than figuring it out on your own. At the same time, like, if you were to meet in person, you'd be able to tell, like, yeah, these guys have actually conquered stuff. They've conquered their mind first in order to conquer life. And when you're stuck in that mindset where, oh, these things are controversial, like, oh, no, it's false without even having any proof or without even being around enough to know better, then, you're just going to be a follower and not a leader.
And that's not what we're here to do.
Yeah. I want to help all you guys lead your life, have a better life, and just know how to conquer like day to day in order for it to have a snowball effect to a point where you're in a really good position. Like,
Yeah, man.
Financially, mentally, physically. And those three things is what we're going to help you achieve.
100%, man. You said
Right.
it best, yeah, bro. Like, yeah, I envision a world where like I just see more men like stepping up to the plate and just being stronger than what I'm seeing currently. I think
You're saying more people are stepping up?
more
now?
people are what I have a vision like
Oh,
where,
yeah.
where more people like adopt our mindset
That's right.
in society, because like me and you, we go out in society and we just see how people are. Like the average person is just looking shook, scared, anxiety, and I just envision a world where more people adopt our mentality. I want to see more people, not be afraid, not live with anxiety, not live with depression, just take ownership of their life.
100%. Because a lot of people have been neutralized. It wasn't due to nothing. It was planned. It's planned for you guys to be neutral
And docile.
That's right.
Like a lot of you guys don't even know like you have so many gifts, and you guys don't even know what gifts you have because you're not challenging yourself, and you're in like a lower vibration. If you can break the shackles of your mind, like you can really unlock your gifts. I feel like me. I feel like everybody has certain gifts that if they actually hone in on, bro, you can go like anywhere.
Yeah, 100%. The mind is very powerful, but it's been yours has been lowered, and again, this comes down to day-to-day activities you've been doing.
Exactly.
Right?